Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Listen to Learn. If you have ever felt like money slips away no matter how much you earn, this video will completely change the way you think about wealth. Because today we are diving into the book The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, a book that reveals the real secrets behind financial freedom. So, stay till the end because the lessons in this video might save you years of financial struggle. Part 1. Know what truly matters. Many times we spend our money, time, and energy on things that are not truly important to us, but because of society's expectations or what others might think, we convince ourselves they are. Morgan Housel, in his book The Psychology of Money, explains a deep yet simple truth. We need to be clear about what we truly value in life and what we are doing merely because society expects us to. Understanding this difference makes both our financial and life decisions much easier. When you buy a new phone, do you choose it because its features genuinely meets your needs or simply because your friends or colleagues have the latest model and you don't want to feel left behind? The same question applies to branded clothes, luxury cars, or dining a fancy restaurant. Often, our decisions are not based on our true needs or happiness. Instead, they are driven by a desire for social approval, admiration, or even jealousy. One of life's biggest trap is the effort to impress others, which can lead us to forget what we actually value. Morgan Housel says the first step toward peace and clarity is asking yourself honestly, what truly makes you happy? Do I really need expensive gadgets? Or do I crave peace of mind and meaningful experiences? Do I need a big car? Or would a simple one just work fine while I invest the extra money somewhere meaningful? Once you develop this clarity about what you actually value, your spending decisions become simpler and more purposeful. Remember, society keeps changing. If you keep running behind these ever changing standards of society, you will never feel satisfied. But if your own values are clear, like spending time with family, gaining financial independence, or collecting meaningful experiences, there is no social trend can disturb your peace. Many people after retirement think, I wish I had prioritized my own happiness over what others expect from me. But by then, it's often too late. That's why it's crucial to ask yourself now, why am I earning? Or where am I spending? If you are spending only to show others, you will fall into a never ending cycle. But when you spend according to your own values, your satisfaction lasts longer because what you bought genuinely makes your soul happy. You have to be quite clear about the difference between society driven spending and self value driven spending. Whenever you are about to make a big financial decision, ask yourself, Am I buying this because I really need it, or it will make me happy, or am I buying it just to look good in others' eyes? If your honest answer is that it's just for a show, take a pause. Clarity of value doesn't just help with money, it helps in every area of life: career, relationships, personal growth. Everywhere, the same question matters: am I doing this because I truly want to, or just because others expect it to me? People who make decisions aligned with their values live with more peace and satisfaction. Morgan Housel puts it beautifully. The biggest illusion in the world is believing that what others have is exactly what you need to be happy. But the truth is, every person's happiness formula is different. Life is short. If we spend it living by others' expectation, we will lose our joy, our real joy. So, be clear about your true priorities when you are spending and living decisions aligned with your personal values. You will not only reduce financial stress but also make life far more meaningful. Impressing others gives temporary joy, but satisfying your own souls give you permanent happiness. Part 2: The balance between expectations and income. We often believe that happiness comes from earning more money, but Morgan Housel reminds us of a simple yet powerful truth. Money brings happiness only when your expectations and your income are in balance. If your expectations constantly run faster than your earnings, no matter how much you make, satisfaction will always stay out of reach. But if your expectations are realistic and aligned with what you earn, you will naturally experience peace of mind and contentment, even if your income isn't massive. That is the real difference between looking rich and feeling rich. The real problem isn't how much we earn, it's how uncontrollable our expectations have become. Even billionaires and celebrities, with all their wealth, often struggle with unhappiness and stress. Why? Because their expectations grow faster than their money. If they buy a private jet, they want a yacht. If they have a yacht, next they won't have a private island. The race never ends. Meanwhile, a middle class family living simply in a small home might be far happier because their desires are in sync with their reality. If you want to be really truly rich, don't just focus on your income. Learn to control your expectations. If you know the difference between wants and needs and keep your expectations grounded, you can feel rich even with a modest income. The essence of Morgan Housel's lesson is: expectations matter more than income. Here is another angle to think about. When your expectations exceeds your income, you fall into a debt trap. Credit card, personal loan, EMIs, these are the symptoms of trying to live beyond your means. So, how do we control expectations? The answer is gratitude and clarity. When you start focusing on what you already have and how much value it adds to your life, your wants naturally shrink. Once you learn to appreciate what you already own, your expectations automatically become reasonable. Next comes clarity, knowing your true priorities. If your goal is financial freedom and early retirement, you must understand that buying luxury items every year will only delay that goal. But if you stay focused, your expectations align with your purpose, then every decisions you make feels right because you know your money is moving in the right direction. Sometimes peace of mind is more valuable than luxury. If you want to live a happier life, learn to consciously limit your expectations. You don't need to follow every trend, buy every new thing, or chase every status symbol. Often, a simple life, small joys, and realistic goal brings the deepest satisfaction. Part 3, the power of money you haven't spent or saved. We often taught that success is about how much we earn, how much we own, and how grand our lifestyle looks. But Morgan Housel flips that idea completely. He says the money you haven't spent so far more valuable than the money you have. Morgan Housel calls it money saved is equal to power in reserves. It's like an invisible superpower, silent but incredibly strong. When a recession hits, when your company downsizes, or when life throws an unexpected challenge, your savings become your shield. They may not be visible to anyone, but they quietly protect you when you need it most. Unfortunately, our society often treats spending as a status symbol. Buy a big car, you look successful. Wear branded clothes, you look rich. But true richness lies with the person who has enough savings to make fearless choices. Practically speaking, saving even 20% of every $100 you earn doesn't just build wealth, it builds security. When you have that financial cushion, you don't panic in uncertainty. Saved money gives you something that no luxury car, gadget, or designer outfit ever can. That's freedom, flexibility, independence, and peace of mind. These are not the things you can touch or see, but their values is beyond measure. Think about it. When you have savings, your decisions automatically become stronger. Suppose you are stuck in a job that drains you, but you cannot leave because you depend on that monthly paycheck to pay bills or EMIs. You feel trapped. Now imagine if you had a strong savings, you could confidently say, this job isn't making me happy. I will take a break or try something new. That's freedom. Saving gives you flexibility. Let's say you want to move to a new city, start a business, or take a long family trip. If you don't have savings, every dream gets stuck behind the wall of what about money? But if you have saved wisely, you have the option. That's what flexibility truly means, the ability to make life choices on your own terms. Then comes independence. It doesn't just mean financial sufficiency, it means you don't have to depend on anyone else for the decisions that matter. And finally, mental peace. When you know you have an emergency fund that you can handle sudden expenses or job loss, your stress level drop automatically. People without saving live in constant worry, but people who save, sleep peacefully, knowing they have a safety net. Tangible, tangible things give short term happiness, intangible benefits like freedom and security give long term fulfillment. Savings are not just your bank balance, they are an invisible power that gives you confidence to live on your terms. Morgan Housel calls it money saved is equal to power in reserve. When a recession hits, when your company downsizes, when a life throws an unexpected challenge, your savings become your shield. Unfortunately, our society often treats spending as a status symbol. Some people say, if we don't spend now, when we will enjoy? And yes, enjoyment matters, but there is a fine line between enjoyment and overspending. It's not about denying yourself joy, it's about balance, a bit of spending and a bit of saving. That's the true formula for a happy life because saving gives you choices. If you have money saved, you can take risks, start a new business, learn a new skill, or pursue a passion project. Ironically, not spending gives you the freedom that spending never can. We need to understand that saving isn't just a financial act, it's a mindset. It teaches patience, control, and resilience, the values that strengthen every part of your life. Real luxury is not how much stuff you own, it's how much control you have, how much flexibility you enjoy, and how much independence you feel. And all of that comes from one simple thing, the money you have saved. So don't look at your savings as just numbers in your bank account. Think of them as your invisible armor, protecting you, empowering you, and simplifying your life when things get tough. Part 4, the Trap of Social Debt. In today's world, one of the most dangerous and invisible trap we fall into isn't financial debt, it's social debt. Social debt is when we spend money not because we need to, but because we want to look good in front of others. It's when we buy things not for happiness but for validation. Morgan Housel calls this one of the most destructive habits of modern life, the endless race of keeping up with others. We have all done it, comparing, competing, copying, but what we forget is we are comparing or copying our reality to someone else's highlight reel. So, how do we escape it? The first step is awareness. Every time you feel the urge to buy something, pause and ask yourself, do I truly want this? Or am I trying to impress someone? Be brutally honest. The second step is gratitude. Every day, remind yourself of what you already have. When you start appreciating your blessings, the need to show off naturally fades. The third step is clarity of priorities. If your priority is financial freedom, early retirement, or your child's education, you will automatically avoid wasteful spending. And finally, remember the truth about show off is it's temporary. As Morgan Housel says, show off is temporary applause. Savings are permanent peace. Look around. You will notice that the people trapped in social debt often look successful but live stressed. Their income may be high, but their peace is low. They spend to impress, not to express. Meanwhile, those who spend quietly, based on their needs, values, and goals, they may appear simple, but they sleep peacefully. Social debt is an invisible prison. It looks glamorous from outside, but inside it's full of anxiety, debt, and insecurity. The only way out is to remind yourself every day happiness is not about meeting others' expectation. It's about simplifying your life to match your own values. True richness isn't about outshining others. It's about freeing yourself from the need to compare at all. Because when you stop buying things to impress people, you start buying things that truly serve you. And that's when real financial peace begins. Part 5. Discover what truly makes you happy. We all know what makes us happy. Morgan Housel, in The Psychology of Money, says we shouldn't assume we already know what will make us happy. We should experiment to find it out. You see, happiness isn't one size fits all. What gives me joy might not mean anything to you, and what excites you today might not excite you 5 years from now. That's why instead of blindly copying others, we must treat spending as an experiment, a personal journey of discovering what truly brings us peace, meaning, and fulfillment. You must learn something crucial. What works for others might not work for you. Morgan Housel also reminds us happiness evolves. What excites you in your 20s won't always satisfy you in your 40s. The joy of buying things slowly fades, while the joy of meaningful experiences and peace of mind only grows stronger. The more you explore, the more you refine your sense of happiness. So, here is a simple exercise inspired by Housel's idea. Next month, track where your money goes and how each spending makes you feel. Write it down. Which expenses give you joy that lasted more than a few days? Which ones made you regret or feel empty? Do this honestly, and within a few weeks, you will see your own pattern appear. That pattern is your personal happiness blueprint. It will tell you exactly where to spend, where to save, and what to ignore. The power of spending experiments, they don't just teach you how to use money, they teach you who you really are. So, the next time you are about to spend, pause for a second. Ask yourself, will this bring me a short term excitement or a long term joy? If it is just a temporary thrill, think twice. If it is something that enriches your mind, your heart, or your peace, go for it. Remember, money is not just a tool to buy things, it's a tool to discover yourself. Use it consciously, spend it with purpose. We Part 6, Minimizing Future Regret, the art of smart spending and long term peace. We humans are wired for instant gratification. When something looks tempting, our mind screams, buy it now, enjoy it today. And in that moment, we forget the future. But as Morgan Housel beautifully explains, true financial wisdom isn't about maximizing pleasure today, it's about minimizing regret tomorrow. Think about it. How many times have we made purchases that felt amazing for a week but painful for months after? The truth is, impulsive decisions make the present exciting but the future stressful. Smart decisions make the present stable and the future peaceful. There is a difference between impulse and intelligence. Morgan Housel says financial satisfaction doesn't come from what you buy today. It's come from the peace of knowing you will be okay tomorrow. Let's look at it differently. There are two kinds of happiness. The one that comes from spending and the one that comes from security. The first fades fast, the second lasts for years. When you have savings, you sleep better. You make decisions without fear. That sense of control, that freedom, is worth more than any luxury item you could ever buy. It's not that enjoyment is bad. Of course not. We all deserve to celebrate, relax, and enjoy the present. But the key is balance. Think about this powerful mindset. Every coin you save is not money denied, it's peace reserved. It's a future moment of freedom you are buying today. When you spend thoughtfully, not emotionally, you start living life on your own terms and not under pressure. YOLO, you live, you only live once, doesn't mean spend recklessly. It means live wisely, live meaningfully, and live without regrets. You live only once, so live it with freedom, not financial fear. Money, at its best, is not about buying luxury, it's about buying peace of mind. It's about having the power to say no to stress and yes to choices. Because peace is the most expensive thing in the world and the only thing you cannot buy once you lose it. The real goal of money is to free yourself, to live comfortably, to sleep deeply, and to smile without worry. And that is the essence of true financial freedom. So, if you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to subscribe to Listen to Learn channel where we turn powerful financial ideas into simple life-changing lessons. Share your thoughts or any topic you would like us to cover next in the comment box below. Remember, money cannot buy happiness, but smart choices can build it.